What's going on, Israel? Back again with another video. In today's video, we're going to be talking about these Pittsburgh Pirates because this team is weird. I feel like everyone knows this now. The Pittsburgh Pirates have not been good for a while. It's been a really long time since they've actually been pretty good. The last time this team was in the playoffs was 2015 when they lost the wild card versus the Cubs. The last time this team has won or gotten to a World Series was 1979 when they beat the Orioles in Game 7 and won the World Series. So it's been a minute. And since 1979, they've only made the postseason 6 times, and it hasn't really gone well for them at all. They just got swept in the first round pretty much. So it's been a while since the Pirates been back in that postseason, and honestly, I think 2024 could be their first season where they could see some success here. And then we looked at this team last year. They were in first place for a little bit. This is something people don't, kind of forget, but they were in first place in that NL Central and were looking really solid in that division. Then Oneil Cruz kind of got hurt. The team started kind of playing pretty bad, and that kind of spiraled from there for at least their playoff hopes. But 2024 could be a solid year for this team. If you look at their last season, they went 76 and 86, so a little bit under that 500 mark, but they still had a really good team, and they did play really well. So I do think maybe the Pirates could really surprise a lot of teams and really upset a lot of teams and kind of surprise people in general on how they're actually going to play, at least in 2024, because I think this team could be like the Reds or Cubs last year, where they're a couple games above 500 at that 82 and 80 mark or 83 mark. I really do think they can get there. Just because on paper, this team has a lot of good rookies and good talent on it, and obviously they have more in the system as well who are going to come up and be even better. You got to remember the Pirates are a top 5 farm system in the league, so they got some talent down there. We're going to look at it in just a second, but this team can really make some noise. And this is kind of a big factor I kind of want to look at before we talk about them prospects. The contracts on this team is very interesting. Obviously, we know McCutchen's going to sign here again, already has signed here. I'm not sure what the actual contract was that he got, but he did sign here once again. So his numbers are not included in this, actual number. But looking at their contract and their financial situation, they've only spent $29.5 million on this team, counting in the arbitration, should be about $64.1 million. So they really have not spent a lot of money. Now, in my personal opinion, I think they're a team that should make a move before the end of the offseason. There are a lot of players up for grabs. We still have the whole month of January and February left. I mean, they got to make a move, I think. I mean, they're just not spending that much money on this squad, and they're honestly not even a bad team if you compare like the actual money situation. So I think they definitely could pick up a couple guys and be a really solid squad. I mean, with all the free agents out there, I feel like they could spend money and still be good. Obviously we still have a lot of guys on the market right now, and I do think that this team would definitely improve from any of them that they got picked up. A couple guys that have been absolutely quiet, we haven't heard anything on. Cody Bellinger and Blake Snell, for example, top 2 players that I think should get signed, and we haven't heard anything right now, at least while I'm recording this video. Maybe when this one gets uploaded, I don't know, there might be some news or something, but at least right now we haven't heard anything. Yeah, it's kind of crazy to think about, and honestly, I think this team, if they definitely spend money, they definitely got a shot to be over 500, but right now they're definitely gonna have to battle for it. A lot of these rookies though have been pretty good that they've been bringing up, and I'm honestly surprised, I think, a lot of people. Now, if we check their ETA for 2024 on their prospects, obviously there are a lot of guys on here. Obviously, I think the big ones I'm looking at here is obviously Paul Skenes and Jackson Wolf, 2 top players. They got Jackson Wolf from the Padres when they thought they had a chance to make the playoffs, which is still funny to think about. He was their #1 prospect in their system, I'm pretty sure, or #1 left-handed pitcher, I think, in their system. Now he's on the Pirates. We're gonna see how he does in spring training, and maybe he can make this team. And then obviously Paul Skenes is #1. We'll see if he actually gets the shot this year. I don't really know when he would get called up, maybe after the All-Star game or something like that. But yeah, he's not going to start the season with the Pirates at all. He's obviously going to be in that AA region starting out the season. We'll see how he does in spring training, though. He could be pretty solid in spring training, and they might move him up to AAA. But we're going to see how he does. I mean, spring training is going to be a real test for all the teams and all their prospects. Obviously, he's going to pitch in that spring breakout probably as well, so that's going to be exciting to watch. They also have some right-handed pitchers on here as well, so if these guys get called up, they could definitely make a lot of things happen. I think just looking at the Pirates in general, this team really hasn't had much success, really ever. They've always had a losing season, which kind of sucks. Honestly, looking at their squad now, I do think there is a solid shot for a postseason spot, but like we said, this wild card race is going to be crazy again, at least in my opinion, with a lot of their teams that are trying to get in and trying to be good. So we're going to see how it is. Obviously, they finished right behind the Giants in that wild card race, and they were one of the teams in the mix, at least in the early half of the year. Obviously, that first half, they were definitely in the mix and definitely getting talked about a lot, but when it comes to that second half of the year, kind of fell off a little bit. So I want to see how they do moving forward. Where do you guys think the Pirates are going? Do you guys agree with me? Do you guys not agree with me? Or do you have this team? In the Central, it's going to be challenging because that's going to be a lot of their games. All those teams are really good except the Cardinals, I think, in my opinion. So it's going to be weird where this team stands. They're going to have to fight between the Reds, Cubs, and Brewers. So it's going to be interesting there. But we'll see what happens. If they make some crazy trades or these guys are just insane, their prospects, and go on some crazy runs, anything can happen. But if you guys do enjoy this video, make sure you guys like, comment, subscribe. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace out, everyone.